Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show. Grab your coffee or your tea, hunty, because we have a lot to talk about. But before we get started on those red hot topics, please go to my website, www.monalisamonroe.com. We've got t-shirts, we've got mugs, we've got toast. Believe me, we've got you covered. And also, you could purchase my book, Life After the Diagnosis. If you know a survivor or you are a survivor, this is the book that you need. Well, let's go ahead and get this party started right, shall we?
Really can't even pose it like when I first lost my child. I have to go from the day that it happened, you know. So you would always, I guess, as a parent, you always think that your children are going to be there. So when he came to me to ask, could he go outside to play with his cousins, it was just like, sure, no problem. I never would have thought in a million years that he would get killed at that moment. So um, it didn't really hit me until I guess when the police officers were taking me away from the scene. And they don't know it, and I don't think I've told this to anyone, but I saw his shoe. And so for me, I think that's what made it real. I didn't see the scene, I didn't see the body, I didn't see anything, but I saw his shoe. And I just went numb from there. So when the nurses was like, we're going to take you to the hospital, and I was just sitting there like this because that's when it was real to me. He's gone. So when I finally went to the hospital and saw the body, me and my ex was just going back and forth on the phone. So my mindset was just a mess. So I wasn't able to really, it wasn't able to sink in, the body laying on the table, because I was trying to be a certain way for him, meaning my ex, and for my children, and for the people who walked in the room with me. So I've always been trying to protect other people's feelings and didn't even know it. But at that moment, I was thinking of everybody else but me. So I honestly didn't get to mourn my son's death until one day I was driving and a song came on. And it was, I'm talking about pulled over. And so I cried all the way to church. And so when I parked the car, here I am again trying to get stuff together because I'm about to go into the church. And I couldn't do it. And to this very day, I don't know who came to the car, but somebody came to the car and knew what was going on with me. And they just pat my shoulders. And I'm bawling in the parking lot.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show. This month is very special in so many ways. I want to start off by saying the reason why I played that video, and that video, I haven't seen it in years, but just recently I was going through some stuff on my computer and found that video. And the person that shot the video, his name is Troy Knowles. Shout out to Troy. He lives in Dallas. We've been friends forever and a day. He did that video for me at a point that is very, very, very crucial to me, because that was the first time that I could actually talk about the death of my son. And if you follow me, or if you read the book, or if you know my history, it's quite quite decorative. But this is the month of his birthday, and he would have been 25 if he was still here. And his birthday is March 31st. And so this whole month is just really special to me. And I wanted to play that video for the folks who might have lost a child before or lost someone in their family that's very close to them, but mainly for those uh, folks that may have lost a child. This particular incident is something, of course, that you never get over, as they say, but you can get through it. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that in the beginning and a little bit in the end of the show, because we have a lot of red hot topics to talk about, but I do want to tackle um, death. And I know, hey, Mona Lisa, this is the beginning of spring. This is March. We're talking about life. And yes, life, joy, all of that good stuff. But on the other side of that is also death. So I want to just talk a little bit about that. So, a little therapy session towards the end of the show. And that's a little bit of what I will be talking about, because this is a month of my son's birthday, and I no longer have him. And so that's what I decided to talk about today. But before we get into that, we're going to go ahead and talk about the red hot topics. And if you are new to the show, welcome to the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show. And we are talking about red hot topics because what? We talk about what you're talking about. So let's just dive right in. And just like the commercial says, you need to grab your coffee and your tea, hunty, because we have a lot to talk about. So let's get started. First things first, it's March, it's Women's Month. Yes, it's Women's Month. So we're celebrating women all month long. And so on the show, not today, but on the next couple of shows for the month of March, I want to have some ladies as guests to talk about what's going on in their lives, what are they doing, and what is their plans for 2023. So I just want to open that door to let everyone know that it's Women's Month. And we're going to have some ladies on the shows to just share with you, explore with you, and discuss with you some topics, some situations, or some businesses, whatever the case may be. We're going to be celebrating that on the show in the month of March. Just want to pull that out there. It's raining women. Hallelujah. No, we got our own song. What is it? I'm every woman. Yeah, I need to go and play that. I need to find that. So that's red hot number one. It's Women's Month, baby. And we're going to have some ladies on the show this month talking about whatever we want to talk about, and talking about what you guys are talking about, of course. Red hot number two. Now, just recently, I saw in the news that this happened. A Savannah high school student was shot, and it says not on campus, but at an apartment complex across the way, not too far from the school. So I want to talk a little bit about this because, yes, it's school shootings and they call it the mass shootings and things like that. But this child was shot outside of the school. And I'm just like, what is happening? You know, what is going on? Students being shot either in school, out of school, gun violence. Gun violence is insane right now. And why? What is going on? So I want to know you guys' thoughts about what are we supposed to do with these guns? What in the world? And I just think it's an inside job, because how hard is it to put a law out to ban guns or ban certain guns, or require more certificates, more permits, more licenses, more classes or something if you do decide to get a gun. How hard is this? So that makes me think it's something, it's some underlining stuff here, because how hard is it? And why is it so hard for anything to be passed? It's just not connecting. So I'm just looking for you guys' thoughts on gun violence, guns in the schools, and in this case, guns outside of the school. What in the world? So that's red hot number two. And then red hot number three is, here we go. The stabbing of an 11-year-old boy is sparking protests in New Jersey. And I want to know your thoughts on just youth violence, period. So remember, there was a student being shot outside of the school here in Savannah. And then there's an 11-year-old boy being stabbed by another middle school student. This is not a robbery or rape or a murder. Thank goodness the child is still here. But the youth is in this violent state. Has this always been the case? Yes. We've always had issues with the youth, but good grief, I don't remember this type of violence. This young, I don't remember. So, but if I'm wrong, you guys let me know. But I do not remember violence this young like this. Teenagers, college, maybe some craziness, but 11-year old. Now remember how old was he? 7, 9? He brought a gun to school and was threatening to shoot up some students. So what are we listening to? What are we allowing in our homes? What are we missing? What are we missing? We're missing something. And we're going to have to find it real quick, because the violence, the anger, the rage, I don't even know what you would call anything like this. I mean, a 9-year-old boy packing a gun to school, an 11-year-old stabbing another 11-year-old, and then high school students, school shooting, shooting outside the school. I mean, it's like violence and anger is everywhere. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? It's just getting crazy, 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 crazy. And the next red hot is, now this is interesting to me, and I want to hear you guys' thoughts on this as well. A white student attending Howard University. Now we all know that Howard University is a HBCU, okay, all black college. And a white student attending this HBCU, historically black university, is suing for racial discrimination. Now, before you get to talking about whatever, let's really, really dissect this and be real. If these tables were turned and this black person went to an all-white college and racial slurs or whatever was going on, they ended up suing, you would be rah, rah, roar, roar, right? So this white student is saying that these black students are racially discriminating, profiling, whatever you want to call it, him. They're calling him Mayo King, which is mayo short for mayonnaise. And so they're calling him Mayo King, and he's not having it. So he's suing Howard University for racial discrimination. So I want to know your thoughts on that. And especially black folk. I want to know how y'all feel about that. Yeah, that's a good one, ain't it? I know. And I'm open to your thoughts both ways, white or black, because we have to be prepared and we have to be ready on both ends. And that reminds me of the police brutality case against, what's his name? Tyree. I think it was Tyree. Um, I think it was Tyree. And it was all black police officers that were, I mean, he was brutally beat and later died. Police brutality to the utmost. And it was black police officers. And the protests and the rah, rah, rah wasn't as fierce as it could have been if the tables were turned, if you ask me. Because we should be outraged regardless. We should be upset about whatever because of the injustice of it, period. And so, on behalf of this white boy, we got to be fair, we got to be just across the board. That's not cool, to tease him or call him whatever, racially profile or discriminate against him, even if we are an all black college. And that's just how I feel about it. And we just got to be real. We got to be fair and just. The rain falls on the just and the unjust. So we need to be fair all across the board. So I know I'm going to get it. Ooh, I know I'm going to get it. And that's okay because I'm ready for all of it. I'm here for it, as the young folks say. So I want to talk a little bit about all these situations, and we're going to dive right back into the red hot topics. But I want to hear from everybody. Your comments is the reason for the show. I mean, we started in 2020 when we were all on lockdown, and I basically went on the computer wondering how my family was doing, how my friends were doing, and we did it in sort of like this good morning, how y'all doing type of format, and it transformed into the Monalisa Monroe morning show, hunty. And we've been rolling ever since. And we've been around for 3 years now. So yeah, the third anniversary is April the 16th. We've been on the air for 3 years. And thanks to Black media, we are here with bells on. Our Black media. Please click the new feature on Facebook that allows you to send us stars. This helps support this platform and allows us to keep bringing you these programs. What programs are you referring to? Well, our Black media is an all streaming live production company, and every one of the shows on this platform is streaming live, and we also have a channel on a Roku. So if you miss any of the our Black media shows, you can go on Roku and find us and play us and replay us and replay us. So we also want you to, of course, click like and share the show, share the love, because we want to be around for a long time. And now just think about it. Social media is the news, because we get it right then, right there. And we have witnesses that are willing to bring their cameras, start shooting. And yeah, that's what's up. That's where we are. Social media is the news, baby. And so this particular platform is different type of shows. We've got all kind of shows. I mean, if you're interested in health, if you're interested in relationships, if you're interested in just what's happening in your neck of the woods, as they say. I mean, oh, about your money. It's so many shows. So whatever you are looking for, check it out. Our Black Media will give you what you need, baby. So I want to put that plug in there. Thank you, production company, for holding your girl down. Appreciate that. And so, yeah, the Monalisa Monroe Morning Show is also on our Black Media on Roku. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And I also want to know, give sort of like a shout out to the folks who stopped me, like I say, in the grocery store, at conferences, at meetings, at different functions, and they say, "Hey, are you the one on the show? On the I watch your show, you know." And so I enjoy that. I mean, that really makes my day when people notice me and acknowledge the fact that they watch the show, and not just watch the show, they like the show. So I really appreciate that. And also, when I went to church, a sister from the church was like, "Hey, I like your show. You're so inspirational." Blah 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 blah. So I really, really, really appreciate that. And I try my best. I really, really do. To be inspiring and encouraging and just give you a word to hang on to, because, we need each other. I mean, that's just the bottom line. And so, if I can give some positive love to anybody, and if you can look back on your day and say, my day was a little better because I listened to A, B, and C from Mona Lisa, I appreciate that. And God bless, God bless, God bless. Oh, number one, grace be to God that I am still here, and He's still using me as a vessel to encourage and exalt and uplift His people. So I appreciate that. And so, with that being said, March is an exciting month. It's got a lot going on, and all that good stuff. And also, for me, March is very, very close to my heart. It's very sentimental, and I'll go over a little bit of that in the later part of the show. But I want to hear from you guys about these red hot topics. And like I said, March is Women's Month. And so I'm going to have some ladies on the show and on the shows for this month, just talking about what they're doing, their business, what's the latest, what's the latest tea or whatever the case may be. And if you are looking to see someone special, leave me a comment, inbox me, and let me know who you are wanting to see on the show. And it looks like I am having some technical difficulties here. So you guys let me know if I'm sticking. But until then, like I said, go to the website, www.monalisamonroe.com. And if you're wondering, where do I get this beautiful cup, or where can I get this cup? It's on the website. So here we go. Women's Month of March. I'm going to bring some ladies on the show. If you're wanting to hear from a certain lady or woman, woman, inbox me, comment, and let me know, and I will ring their phone or email them or let them know that someone wants you on the show. So you need to come on the show for the month of March. I want to talk about what you're doing in your life and what's going on. And then, red hot number two was a white student attending Howard University is suing for racial discrimination. And I would like to know your thoughts. Yeah, so someone's telling me I'm still sticking. So I don't know what the deal is, but hopefully it will work itself out. Um, so my thoughts on this is we need to be fair across the board. If someone is being discriminated against, we need to do something about it. I don't care if it's a white boy in an all black school or a black boy in an all white school. Right is right and wrong is wrong. So those are my thoughts on this particular situation. Mm-mm. It's hey, he needs to be heard. Everyone needs to be heard who feels like they're being mistreated. That's just not cool. And then the next red hot topic was Savannah High School student was shot. Now, the first time I heard it, I was praying that it wasn't a school shooting. But later in the article, and for folks that were, of course, the buzz was that it wasn't on campus. The student was actually shot at an apartment complex not too far from the school. Either way it goes, this is crazy. I don't know the situation. I don't know what happened, but the fact that this student was shot is just horrifying. It's horrifying. It's scary. It's concerning. It's alarming. It's all of that, and I just don't know what's going on in with the youth. It's just this violent nature that's happening, and it's just crazy. And like I was telling you previously, the stabbing of an 11-year-old boy by another 11-year-old boy is sparking protest in New Jersey. And they're concerned about youth violence. And we should be concerned about youth violence. There was a shooting, not on campus in Savannah, but there was a teenager that was shot outside of the school. What is happening with the youth? And of course, you talk about this situation and people will yell, oh, what are they listening to? What are they watching? Do you guys think that's a concern? The music, the movies, of course, the internet, who's to blame? The parents, the lack of supervision or whatever. Or you ask someone, in the spiritual realm or Christian, and they'll say this is the end times. It's going to get worse from here. But it is just so alarming and so scary, the fact that 11-year-old children are stabbing one another. I mean, I'm talking about stabbing, trying to kill. You're 11. I mean, I remember when I was 11, I was still playing with dolls. I don't know. This is crazy. And then the video games, people could try to blame the video games. I mean, have you seen the latest video games? It looks real. And you shoot somebody, it doesn't matter. They get back up, or you kill somebody, you play another game, and I don't know if they're thinking like it's fake or it's a movie or it's not real, but people's lives, they're, I don't know, we're in a situation or a time to where everything is fast, rapid, right? So you're thinking, let's get over it, let's move forward, let's go, but it's a void in your life when you lose someone. So this 11-year-old is upset about something, mad at this boy or whatever, thinking that this is going to settle it or this is going to finish it. But that little boy has parents. That little boy has siblings, has grandparents that will never see him again if he died. But he thank God he lived. But the thought of taking someone off the earth and that's like a temporary thought process, like you saying I'm killing somebody is a temporary, but yet it's a permanent scar for the family, for the friends, for the loved ones of that particular person. And I just don't think at 11 you think about all of that. I just don't think so. I think you're thinking this is a video game, or this is a movie, or this isn't real, for you to take a knife and stab another 11-year-old, or better yet, a couple of months ago or last month, a 9-year-old boy takes a gun to school and he was going to shoot some folks. So I'm thinking, what is going on? What in your mind would make you want to do this? Now, you know, bullying is real. Um, we grew up, I mean, I grew up with bullies, but what is the difference between dealing with a bully back in the day and dealing with being bullied now? Okay. What happened to the bullies back in the day? Um, Either they kept on being a bully, or either someone beat them up and then they shut up, or they grew up to be very bitter, very angry, or very dangerous. Um, and maybe, depression and all that set in for those bullies or people that were being bullied. And then again, you know what? This is probably so profound now because now everything is on video or on TV. Because now that I think about it, it was a lot that slid under the cracks because there was no video. There was no TV that talked about these issues. So they were swept under the rug. Now that I think about it, because bullies have always been here, you know. I mean, like I said, I remember bullies in middle school, high school. They've always been here. And those who got bullied, but it never came to this point as far as we know, because everything wasn't on camera, everything wasn't on video. A lot of people weren't taking pictures and, with the video. Now when the camcorder came out, what was it, Girls Gone Wild, that's when it, yeah, then everybody had a camcorder, and as soon as you saw the camcorder, it seemed like you wanted to act a monkey. So those type of things, the video, the camcorder, all of that started the path of videotaping everything. And it was a couple of months ago I read an article about, and it might have been also a portrait or a drawing that someone drew, and you could be enjoying something very, very special, your child in a play or performing, or even the moment that you're at a concert, or whatever, a moment that you are calling yourself enjoying, and all of a sudden here comes the phones. You start to video the what's going on. And the article, as well as the news brief or whatever that was, I saw the video, they said that you're missing the moment when you pull out your camera and you got to look through, you have to look through the phone to see the camera and then to see the performance. You're missing being present in the moment because you're too busy trying to get that shot. And I found myself noticing when I go places or whatever. I mean, everybody has their phone out. Everybody wants to get the shot. Everybody wants to get that shot. And I also read and heard that people are dying trying to get that shot. that money making shot, right? And whether that's a TikTok video, whether that's a photograph, whatever it is, people are dying trying to get that shot, that money shot. And they're missing the moment and being present in that particular moment because you're trying to get the video. You're trying to get the shot. And we're losing the whole living of it all, right? It's like self-awareness. You're missing being, there you go. You're missing being. You're missing being present in the moment. Now, am I perfect? No. I have fallen short in many occasions pulling out the phone. But I have to say that recently I just decided not to do it. And I've been missing some shots. Don't get me wrong. I've been missing some good stuff to post and all that kind of stuff because I'm choosing to be in the moment. So if you see a picture now or of me or whatever on social media, it's very rare and far between now because the photos and stuff that I post now, those are old. Most of them are old because I'm choosing to enjoy the moment. And so I just recently attended a conference and it's called a leadership conference. And I literally was in the conference enjoying everything and noticed some folks pull out their camera and their video and start taking pictures and da da da. And then that's what made me go, oh yeah, oh yeah, let me get a picture, right? Because I was enjoying the conference. And so I stopped, took out the camera, took a few pictures, and put it in my purse. And that was it. And a lot of people were like, let me get a picture with you, whatever, whatever. And I'm cool with that. And I say, send me the picture because that's the only way I'm going to get it. Because I'm just choosing to enjoy the moment, choosing to enjoy the nature, the whatever I'm doing. And I don't know, that's just where I'm at now. And so far, so good because I mean, the conference was amazing. And I just think if I would have been caught up in trying to get that shot or get that picture with someone or whatever, I would have missed it. I would have missed it. And I literally heard some things and made some notes. And I don't think I would have gotten it if I would have, been worried about getting the shot or getting the video. And but I did record one of the speakers. He was so profound to me. And this particular speaker was burned when he was 11 years old. 100% of his body was burned, third degree burns, second degree burns. I mean, it was bad, but he's still here. And the doctor said it was like a 1% chance of him living, but he is here. And he was one of the speakers and he had no hands. He had like nubs, no hands. And he was talking. He was so engaging. He was funny. And he had us crying at different points of his speech and stuff. And he was just amazing. And so towards the end of his speaking, speech, it ain't speech. What is it? Presentation. Towards the end of his presentation, this is what got me. Now, he had no hands, right? But he said that his mother would put a pin on the edge of his little nub here, and she taped the pin around his hand. And his mother called a piano teacher and didn't ask him, did he want to play the piano? Didn't ask him, could he play the piano? She basically put him in front of the piano with that pen taped to his hand. And he was telling us this story, and the piano teacher would come every day and teach him the piano. And this speaker, mind you, 100% of his body burned, no hands, towards the end of his presentation, had a keyboard rolled in. And I said to myself, if this man with no hands plays this keyboard and this piano, I'm going to fall out. And lo and behold, he got behind that keyboard, that piano, and started playing Amazing Grace. There wasn't a dry eye in the building. I was like, wow. Now, mind you, I did not record any of the speakers. I might have, took a few pictures of a few of the speakers, but babe, I had to record this person playing the piano with no hands. Those are the kind of moments. Those are the kind of people. That is the kind of mindset that every day you want to be around. You want to just sit in that kind of stuff. I mean, he was so inspirational. And he also shared the fact that his father had Parkinson's, right? Now, if you know Parkinson's disease, you have the shakes, and in some cases they can't talk anymore. Muhammad Ali is a perfect example. If you're wanting to know sort of what that's like, Muhammad Ali suffered from Parkinson's, and you have the shakes, and you lose, your ability to talk, and sometimes your ability to see or hear or whatever. And he was stating, mind you, no hands, burned when he was young, 1% livelihood after such an event as that. And he's still here, but his father suffered from Parkinson's, and he showed us pictures, on the presentation board of his father. Every picture, his father was smiling, having a ball. He's in a wheelchair. He's still, getting to A. Still getting from A to B, but he was smiling. And the things that he said about his father, he would ask. He said he would ask his father, why are you smiling? You got Parkinson's. You can't do this. You can't do that. And his father would say, I've got so many things to be grateful for. I'm still living. I can still see. I can still do things. I can still look at your mother. I mean, it was just, and so you leave something like that. You leave a presentation like that, saying to yourself, what am I tripping on? What am I tripping on? What am I thinking about that's bringing my day down, right? And he was saying gratefulness. And the Bible says, count it all joy, even in the rough times. And see, this is something that I'm very familiar with, but maybe got disconnected from. But gratefulness will change the situation. Gratefulness will shift the universe in your favor. Gratefulness will shift the atmosphere to respond to you in a positive way. A lot of people think positive thinking, positive this, positive that. Well, you can call it positive thinking. That's no problem. Call it whatever you need. But it's actually gratefulness. That's what it is. Because being positive, and I think being grateful, It's a little different because being grateful, I think, is deeper, right? And you always talk about, oh, well, no, you don't want to be deep and da 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 da. But I'm not trying to be deep. I'm just saying be grateful. If you still have breath, if you still can see, hear, move, talk, run, walk, move your limbs, you need to be grateful. And grateful changes everything. It even gives you health. It makes you healthier, right? Um, and I can give you an example. And this is a personal example. And for those of you who already know the story about me and the bout in 2010 with leukemia, I'm going to tell you this: gratefulness, joy, love, peace. Let me tell you something. That was medicine to the soul. You hear me? Forgiveness, um, getting rid of guilt. Oh my goodness. Surrendering to love. Ooh, that's medicine. All that's medicine to the soul. It's good stuff. Man, this is good stuff. So I said to y'all, I'm reading a book and, trying to, in the very beginning, January, the resolution, the word, though, oh yeah, that was one of the things that I was saying, instead of a resolution, get you a word to hang on to. Well, my word was actually, it was two words, but discipline and commitment. And whatever word or words you came up with, it's going to try you. It's going to test you to make sure you keep it. You keep those words or that word in front of you. And I'm telling you, discipline and commitment has been the test for me. And in what way, Mona Lisa? I'm telling you guys, I said to myself I was going to do some things, wake up in the morning, go to bed early. I was going to do some things, eat better, da 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 da. Man, it's March. And I'm looking back, I had no discipline or commitment in February. I did horrible in February. But the good thing is I can still start over. That's the good thing, right? So today I started over. I got up early, did the workout, doing the work, being disciplined. So anyway, my story. So being grateful brought me through the storm. Being present brought me through the storm. And like I said, I'm going to break this thing down for y'all. I really want to. I think I'm going to do a webinar or a seminar on gratefulness or being present. And I'm going to be able to sell some books. And for those of you who know, I did write a book, and the book was about the journey after the diagnosis. And I'm still on the journey. I'm still on the journey. So the book shares all of the ups and the downs, the prayers and the discouragement, the whatever. That's what it's all about. And I think that's where we need to be in this moment, in this time. We got to be aware. Self-awareness, yes. You got to be present. You got to be present. And like I said, I was the one that pulled out the phone when I saw everybody recording and da 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 da. But I'm going to do better on that because we got to make some changes. And I mean, how do you expect the world to change unless you start? Unless you start, right? Unless you start. So, again, this is a very, very special month for me because, again, this was the month that my son was born. Um, my son's name was Menez Osiris Daniels, and he was killed. He was killed by a 17-year-old driver that was driving a truck. And my son was crossing the street when he was hit by the 17-year-old. The 17-year-old was coming from football practice and he wasn't paying attention. He was on his phone or whatever the case may be. And when my son jotted or jetted across the street, he was hit. And um, the blow of the truck, I mean, he flew pretty much up some feet. And it was very traumatic. It was very traumatic. And I was at home. And moments before all of this happened, oh my goodness, a week, 2 weeks before this happened, it's always some things that occur that's maybe out of the norm that you probably miss because you're busy. You're doing your day to day. And I missed some things because I was doing the day to day. Get up, go to work, get the kids school, get them off to school, da 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 da, the day to day. And you miss the little things. And so I looked back over the years and thought about those 2 weeks before he was killed. And I missed some things. And I can tell you, one of the things were we were riding in the car and my son was in the back seat, the one that was killed. And this is weeks before, months before. And I'm talking about being present in the moment. And so he's in the back seat and he's looking out the window and he's looking up in the sky. And he says, "Mama, what's past the clouds?" And I'm driving and I'm like, "What? What's past the clouds?" And I said, "Oh, the sun, the sun." He says, "What's past the sun?" And that's what made me go, wait a minute. So I looked in the rearview mirror at him. Now, mind you, we in traffic, we driving, we in the hustle and bustle. And I looked in the rearview mirror at him and he was engaged with the sky. And I'm looking back at it now and I'm wondering, was he curious to the point to where he knew he was going there, but he just didn't know what it was like? Those moments. Weeks later, he's killed. That's what I mean about being present in the moment. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Be present. And I'm going to play this last video before I go. And I want you guys to really, really listen to it. And it's been years since I saw it, but I want to share it with you guys.
really can't even pose it like when I first lost my child. I have to go from the day that it happened, you know. So you would always, I guess, as a parent, you always think that your children are going to be there. So when he came to me to ask, could he go outside to play with his cousins, it was just like, sure, no problem. You know, I never would have thought in a million years that he would get killed at that moment. So it didn't really hit me until I guess that when the police officers were taking me away from the scene, and they don't know it, and I don't think I've told this to anyone, but I saw his shoe. And so for me, I think that's what made it real. I didn't see the scene, I didn't see the body, I didn't see anything, but I saw his shoe. And that I mean, I just went numb from there. So when the nurses was like, you know, we're going to take you to the hospital, and I was just sitting there like this, because that's when it was real to me. He's gone. So when I finally went to the hospital and saw the body, me and my ex was just going back and forth on the phone. So my mindset was just a mess. So I wasn't able to really, it wasn't able to sink in, the body laying on the table, because I was trying to be a certain way for him, meaning my ex, and for my children, and for the people who walked in the room with me. So I've always been trying to protect other people's feelings and didn't even know it. But at that moment, I was thinking of everybody else but me. So I honestly didn't get to mourn my son's death until one day I was driving and a song came on. And it was, I'm talking about pulled over. I'm, you know, just, and so I cried all the way to church. And so when I parked the car, here I am again trying to get stuff together because I'm about to go into the church. And it just, I couldn't do it. And to this very day, I don't know who came to the car, but somebody came to the car and knew what was going on with me. And they just pat my shoulders. And I mean, I'm bawling in the parking lot.